Hello everybody, welcome back to the Canada Diaries. I think this is part 3. I just did a bad thing. I spent all my money on rocks. I actually quite like it.
Is it?
It's kind of, it's more.
You're gonna wash my face?
I kind of like it. It reminds me a bit
It's
of.
not bad, really. It's not bad, really.
Yeah, it reminds me of like Blue Moon. It's quite like citrusy. It has like a lot of citrus undertones.
Cheers. Cheers. Do you want a picture with that?
No, I'm okay.
That's a Sasquatch.
Oh, my dad likes the Sasquatch.
That's a Sasquatch.
I'll run down. I am the tourist.
There you go.
Grand is tough with us. He doesn't want to walk beside us anymore. I would also like to add that it is about 32 degrees and I have no sunscreen on. So today is the day where I get burnt and the blisters start forming on my body. There's so many different flavours. So I got the blackberry raspberry thunder and campfire s'mores.
Two-fisty, man.
You're what?
Two-fisty. Do you have an expression?
No.
Two-fisty. It is the expression, isn't it?
No. Come over this way. Come on. Come here, bub. Come here.
Don't you rock for me, because I ain't getting you. Oh, there you go. Oh, okay.
Just don't jump in again, please.
Is this your dog?
No.
Oh my god.
That's the mystery, eh?
How random. I just rescue. Brenda, based on my luck on rescuing animals, let's hope that the outcome's not the same with that wee one.
Yes, so not.
He is living the dream, hey?
But I'm not going in after that.
This so nice, isn't it? Always like this place.
2 young things living the dream, huh, Brenda? 2 young things living the dream.
know, yeah.
If I was interested in any boats, there's mine over there. See that there? Pontoon. In there.
It's oozing.
And you gave off to me about scratching.
I know.
Stop it! She's mesmerised. Zoe from the future here. I just wanted to update you and let you know that this episode / part whatever was pretty much trying to be recorded about 3-4 times. So I'm gonna let you in on what was going to be the first intro to this video, and then I just didn't. I left it for the next time that I tried to re-record the episode. So in case you haven't been able to tell, we done a wee bit of travelling about at the start of this episode, and the second half I'm going to be doing a wee bit more of a sit down video, so stay tuned for that, where I kind of go over the expectations that I had and a wee bit of the realities and a wee bit of my challenges and my struggles and my highlights and all of Canada so far. So if you're getting bored of the vlog style, don't worry, there is something for you in this video. Just stay tuned, it'll be coming around very, very shortly. But in the meantime, enjoy the rest of Westport. Hello folks, my name's Zoe and welcome to the Canada Diaries part 3.
Part 3.
Part 3.
You can block that off.
Where are we today?
We're in Westport.
I've never been to Westport before. It is literally full of boats, full of water, full of willow trees, full of good ice cream, full of good vibes. We're now leaving Westport, believe it or not. I'm going to recap on everything from before, and we're going to go climb up a mountain.
Yamaha, Suzuki.
Jack Daniel's bike. So what do you call them motorbikes, Scandal?
No, I'm not prepared yet.
She calls them crotch rockets. We're going to climb a mountain.
We're going up that hill.
I am naming the pigeon Steve. Huh? I am one for rescuing animals. I've rescued a baby bird, I've rescued a baby rabbit, I've rescued a dog.
Yep.
I had a pigeon just chilling on the roof, chilling with us for a part of the ride into the woods. 10 out of 10 day. Spy Rock lookout. You seen something move? Must have been a bear. Spy Rock Rump. Oh, wow. So pretty.
Please don't fall.
It is gorgeous.
We're gonna head home. It's gonna take us an hour.
You're welcome.
Hello, welcome back. It is currently the next day or the day after. I was working from home and stuff, so I never got recording like an awful lot. So here we are, I'm ready. And I've actually asked Cameron to help me out with this next bit of the video because I wasn't sure how to exactly do like a sit down type of video. So what I got him to do was I got him to compile a list of questions, and this is anything from like what's been my favourite experience, and there's some other questions thrown in there too, so he sent them across to me. Before I actually get stuck into questions, the first thing I'm going to do is kind of do a wee catch up from the cabin, or the cottage. Apparently it's not actually a cabin. After the cabin we ended up heading up to Ottawa. Ottawa is the capital of Canada, as far as I'm aware. I could be wrong. And if I'm correct, Toronto is the capital of Ontario. Is that way, or else it's back to front? It's one of the two. But we ended up staying in Ottawa for a night up at a friend's house, and then the following day we came back to Kingston. This like marked the start of a new week as well, and I have to say the 2 weeks that I've had are completely different. Like the first week was literally go go go, there was not a second to stop, and I feel like we were doing so much. I think I had slept in something like 4 different beds in 7 days, which was quite crazy, because for those who know me, I love the comfort of my own bed. I love being able to just sleep in my own bed, and I don't really like it. I would just rather my own bed, the comfort of my own home, that kind of thing. But I love traveling, so I was like okay with it. It kind of calmed me a bit. But I feel like after that first week, my energy just completely dropped, and I feel like the next week was just really hard to like balance everything. I'd convinced myself as well not to let my emotions show, and just to like remain logical, just keep battering on like everything. And then I like bottled up my emotions. I think I like broke down over the phone to Cameron on like 2 or 3 days of the week. There's a couple of nights where I just could not sleep, and I couldn't figure out for why, because I wasn't on my phone, I wasn't up reading anything, I wasn't playing games or anything like that. And I was like, what is going on? Why can't I sleep? Because at home I just sleep like a baby. I feel like maybe because I was just traveling go go go, and I'm like so used to the comfort of my own bed, that's why I couldn't sleep. So I end up ringing Cameron, and there's like a 5-hour difference. So for me, if it's 12 o'clock at night, it's 5 o'clock in the morning for them. So if I was ringing him at maybe like 9:30, not being able to sleep or whatever, it was pretty early in the morning for him. So I'm so sorry, Cameron. You probably got knocked out of routine a wee bit because of me. The brunt of the story was basically I could not fall asleep for the life of me. I feel like that was also because I was feeling really emotional throughout that whole first week. And it was weird because nothing necessarily had happened. I just felt really overwhelmed. I think what had happened was I was missing home. I was burnt out from like the go the week before. I wasn't feeling overstimulated with work, but I feel like I just wasn't allowing myself rest. Like I think during that second week of me working from home, although I was like really tired and everything, I was still doing over the hours that I meant to do. Essentially, like my body was telling me that I needed rest, and I was getting really overwhelmed. And instead of just doing like my normal hours, I was kind of like, I was starting at maybe 6:30. Normally I start at like 9, by the way. Taking a break midday for like an hour, and then continuing to work maybe until 7 o'clock, I think I did one night. And then I was like wondering why I was feeling so knackered. Essentially, I do look at a screen for a majority of my day. It is social media, so a lot of it is online, a lot of it is editing, CapCut, Canva. There's a lot of like information that you're taking in from looking at the screen. There's a lot of information that you're listening to. There's a lot going into my little brain, and I keep needing to remind myself as well that whenever it comes to being in such a creative role, I need to give myself time to step away from my phone and step away from being on TikTok or being on Instagram or whatever, because I need the creative juices to flow naturally and on their own, so that I'm not having to rely on just free fall on it. There is a plan, there is a structure, there is certain things that you need to do in order to get the best results, and I feel like I was just completely neglecting that. Although I was putting in a lot more work, I wasn't necessarily working smarter because of it. So I had a breaking point probably on the Sunday. I went out with family and I just felt extremely overwhelmed. I was still taking in like a lot of information still, and I just kind of like got home, and I didn't want to initially like tell my family that I wasn't really coping that week that well. Like I was just feeling really emotional that week. I didn't really care to tell anyone. Just saying, my dad's a legend, like he helped me through it. he got me through it. To be fair, so did Cameron, so don't worry. I kind of felt embarrassed because basically I'm over here with my granda and Brenda, but I didn't want to feel like I was inconveniencing them. I didn't want them to feel like I didn't want to be here, because essentially I'm staying over at their house as well, so they're giving me like a free place to stay whilst I was over here, and dinners, and like, do you know what I mean? Like there was a lot that I felt like I kind of needed to repay them for, and I didn't want to burst out crying and be like, I just feel so overwhelmed. Moral of the story, I did, and it probably was the best thing that I could have done. Reason being, they completely understood, and they just gave me like a hug, both of them, and was like, listen, it's all right, like you're over here for a month and your routine has done a complete switch. You're just knocked out of routine. You're sleeping different hours, you're waking up earlier. there's so much new stuff that you're taking in, and like of course you're going to be overwhelmed, of course you're going to feel this way. And I was like, thanks guys. And then I just felt a bit better after that. We did do quite a lot of fun stuff, to be fair. I went down to the Turnanog. I still don't know if I'm saying that right, but we went down to the Irish pub, and I went down to the Irish pub. I went down and I had a pint of Guinness because I was like, I just need a taste of home. This was during one of my wee like mini mental breakdowns in the first half of the week. I was like, I just need a taste of home, I'm missing people. So I was like, I need a Guinness. It was actually quite funny because I walked in, because the Irish pub, or the pub, it had 2 entrances. So I went to the first entrance because there's a person there in a t-shirt which said the name of the pub on it. And the first thing I done was I turned around to the fella and I was like, I need a pint of Guinness. I need your finest pint of Guinness. And he looked at me. Clearly the accent or something took him off guard, or the fact that a woman just was like, can I just have alcohol now, please? And he was like, what? Sorry? And I was like, can I please get a pint of Guinness? And he's like, yes, of course, follow me. And then he like took me in the back road to the main pub, because I think the other side was a restaurant. On the way in, I was like, I promise I am not an alcoholic, I promise. And yeah, he looked at me and he was like, no, it's okay, I completely understand. And I was like, okay, cool. And then went down to the pub, and then the bartender, I think his name was like Cyrus or something, Cyrus, something like that. And he had basically turned around to your fella and was like, a pint of Guinness. And I turned around and I was like, yes please, I would love a pint of Guinness. I would love a pint of Guinness. And then he looked around at me like very, very confused, because he was obviously talking that road. And then I was affronted and I was like, you weren't talking to me, were you? And then he was like, and I was like, oh, I'm so sorry. And then he's like, no, it is your order, right? And I goes, what? Because I was confused then. And he's like, the Guinness, it was your order? And I was like, yes. And I looked at your fella and he was like, yes, it is. And I was like, and he was like, yes, it is. And then I was like, okay, cool. And he's like, yeah, so just take a seat anywhere. And like, I was like, okay. And then as I sat down, he turned around and he was like, well, there's absolutely nothing Irish about you, is there? And I was like, no, not at all. He then said like the hair, the accent, the drink choice, and I was like, yeah. And he was like, so why like basically like, why are you here? And I was like, I just feel like I needed a taste of home. And he's like asking me like normal questions like, how long are you here for, blah 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 blah. And it was just a really, really good day. Anyway, I'm just gonna crack on. That was a really long introduction, and a question has not even been asked yet. It's time to answer them, and my hair is kind of like crazy. It's the fun of it. So I will get started with the first question. I feel like some of what I said might overlap, so we'll see. So what has been the highlight of my Canada journey so far? I feel like the go-to one's maybe the cabin, but you would have seen that video and you would have understood why. If you haven't seen it, link is in the description. Go have a look at it, because it was so fun and it was just so wholesome. It was like a wee mini holiday with a bunch of pensioners. It was great. It was great crack. They were so funny. It was just, oh, it's perfect. So I feel like that was probably one of my highlights. Another highlight would probably be Westport. It was honestly the most beautiful thing in the entire world. So mind a wee second ago I was talking about on like Sunday, I just hit like a wall. After that we ended up taking that road trip down to Westport, and it's maybe like an hour, 2 hours away, and it was honestly the most beautiful thing. And I think it was the one thing that I needed the most, was just to go somewhere different, get out of the environment that I was in, because I really enjoy traveling and enjoy seeing different things. So we drove through it initially on the way up to the cottage or cabin or whatever in Quebec, so we got time to actually explore. So we ended up getting a few people gifts and stuff, which made my heart feel really full. And then we went up to Spy Rock, which is a massive viewpoint, and it was just stunning. So that probably is another one of my highlights. But it was just the perfect day, and I feel like it was what I needed. And I feel like that alone resetted me for like this week. It's currently Wednesday, and the past 3 days have just flown so fast, and the energy's been up here. And I'm also sitting here thinking, like, in 3 days time I'm only gonna have 10 days left to Canada. That is mental. But anyway, okay, I'm gonna move on to the next question. What is the funniest story that I have had? Honestly, I think it was just me walking into the pub and asking for the Guinness, because that whole situation was just very funny. I can't speak English now, and it was just, I don't know, so out of character for me. Okay, moving on to the third question. What has been some of my favourite Canadian food that I've tried? This is Norway story time. I have a couple clips from it, so I'll kind of do it whilst I'm talking. But me and my step aunt. I'm still trying to figure out what to call her. We're 99% sure it's step aunt. We went to a movie in the park in downtown Kingston and we watched A League of Our Own, which I have never seen before. It was actually really, really good. I quite enjoyed it. Just before the movie was happening, Cameron gave me like a to-do list, like complete. You've probably heard me mention, but I haven't actually talked about what's through it because I've just completely forgot, to be honest. But I ended up getting a beaver tail. And for those at home, do not think the same that I thought and think it's actually a beaver's tail. It's just the name of this like pastry thing. I was like, the way I kind of been describing it is like dinky donut smashed down so it's like flat, or just like loads and loads of dinky donuts like smashed down so it's like crispy, toasted so it is like extra crispy, so it's like that cinnamon sugar kind of like base, and you can have it plain so nothing on it, or you can get like loads of like dressings and stuff. I got two thinking that Melanie would eat a full one. She could not have had the full one. So I ended up having to eat both. I didn't have to eat both, but both ended up being it anyway. I felt sick the rest of the night because of how much sugar was in it. But anyway, that's a completely different story. But I tried my first ever beaver tail. So that was really, really fun. In terms of actual like foods. Oh, I tried poutine for the first time whilst up in Quebec. It would have been in the Quebec vlog. Again, if you haven't seen it, links in the description. Go watch it. It was quite fun. I tried poutine for the first time. It was so good. But I actually feel like it was quite overrated. That's all I'm going to say on the matter because I feel like the Canadians might send out like a search party to come and hunt me down. But still pretty good. Other than that, in terms of like actual food in the house and things like that there, I feel like I'm talking really fast. I need to slow down. In terms of like food in the house and everything like that there, we have just had some lovely like home-grown meals. I've had butter and corn, which is a Canadian staple, and it was really good. It was to die for. What has been the most challenging part about me being away and what have I learned from it? Kind of touched on my challenge earlier on. Essentially, it was just dealing with my own emotions, like missing home, feeling really overwhelmed, just burning myself out essentially. What I've learned from it is actually two things, and I feel like one maybe contradicts the other. The first one would be to listen to my body first and foremost, in the sense that if I feel the emotion in my chest or if I feel the emotion in my throat, like don't just conceal it for the sake of making others feel better when you don't even know that what you're going to say to them might hurt them. The people I opened up to weren't offended. They were happy that I told them because then it meant that we were both aware of what was going on. The second one would be that I work really well under pressure. I don't really work well whenever I have loads of time free in my day. I don't work well whenever I know I have so much time on my hands to do the things that I'm meant to do. I feel like quite a few people might relate to that, but I work so much better whenever I have like a really condensed amount of time to get X amount of stuff done. I work so much better, and I feel like this is why this week I feel like I have been a lot more productive with work. Although last week I was doing like beyond my normal hours and like what I'm meant to be doing, this week I've stuck to like my dedicated hours. Today I did work a wee bit over, but that's okay. But yeah, essentially I work so much better under pressure. I work so much better knowing that I need to have all this done and I only have this amount of time to do it. If anyone else relates to that, let me know, because I feel like I'm on my ones with that. I don't really know what Cameron means by this, but what has been one thing that you can only learn in Canada? To be honest, I have no idea. The only thing that's springing to my mind is how to like peacefully live with mosquitoes and not figure out whenever they're stuck in your blood. That's the only thing I can think of, because I have not been coping well if there's any bugs near me at all, especially because I don't know what ones can bite and sting and all this. So how people are maybe so calm at a certain point of the day whenever they know like mosquitoes are out, bugs are out, things that can bite and sting you are out. Like at home I don't think we have that many stuff that can bite and sting you, and if we have, I don't know about them. Do you know what I mean? I think that's it, to be honest, because I don't know what else you can learn in Canada that you can't learn at home. Maybe I've just not been exposed enough to Canada yet. I don't know. If there's anything that you can only learn in Canada, let me know, because I feel like I could prove it wrong. Question number 6. What is my go-to thing to do in Canada? I have quite a few, I think. I feel like I've been in... this is going to completely contradict everything. I have like a good like morning routine, I feel like. So I've been waking up early. Some days it's 5:30, some days it's 6:30, some days it's 7:30, but it's always within that like 3 hour period, and like usually it's on the earlier side of it. But I'll wake up, I'll drink water, I will do all like your normal morning routine stuff like brush your teeth and everything like that there. I will sit outside, I will have cereal, and I will read a wee bit of a book, or else I will just do something for myself, whether that be sit down, like play a game, whatever. Make that time for myself, and I feel like the mornings is something that I really look forward to whenever I wake up, because I know like it's just chill. I have no rush. At home I am very much busy, in the sense like whenever I first wake up at 5:30, I am leaving the house at 7 o'clock in the morning, giving me an hour and a half to get up, get dressed, showered, outfit, breakfast if I have time. Usually I don't, but leave the house, open the front door, get into my car, drive down to Belfast, which takes me an hour. Because if I leave any later than 7 o'clock, it takes me about an hour and a half, 2 hours to get down to Belfast, which is a joke. And then I'll be in Belfast for about 8 o'clock, meaning that I have an hour to sit outside the office and do my makeup and just relax. And then I get into the office and it's go until 5 o'clock, and then I'm in Belfast for 2 hours, and then I lift Cameron and then we drive up home. So then I'm home at 9 o'clock, straight into bed. And yeah, so at home's really busy. That's kind of like my routine at home. So my routine over here has been a lot more chill. And my other go-to thing would be getting McDonald's coffee, McDonald's iced coffee, because over here in Canada, in this lovely little country, I say little country, but it is fucking massive, their iced coffees from McDonald's, like, average $1.50, which is like 75p at home. Did my math there, which is so cheap. So I'm getting cheap coffee, and it actually tastes good for the price as well. Can't beat it. So that's been my other go-to. And yeah, I can't really think of my other go-tos. This is actually quite an interesting one. Have I seen anything that reminds me of home? Yes, the pub. That pint of Guinness was actually really good. I was expecting it to taste like catfish, but it was actually good. Other than that, there's been little things, like I seen someone who drove the same car as my dad, so that reminded me of home. I'm at home here in Canada with my granda, so there's always little constant reminders there. The people smile at you whenever you walk past. I've been to countries before where you walk past someone and you kind of be like, hi, how are you? And there's like no response. They kind of look at you like, why have you just spoke to me type of thing. But I've noticed in Canada that whenever you're walking past someone, they'll always smile at you, or they'll always be like, hello. And like, that reminds me a lot of home, because I feel like that's just standard at home, and I feel like people are actually quite well mannered to a degree. Cameron hasn't actually asked a question on this, but what do I think the main differences are from home? The sky is so much higher. You probably are thinking she's buck mental, because how can the sky be higher? But like, I can't even show you today because there's no clouds, but see, whenever the clouds are out, right, I feel like the sky at home is about here. Like we're here, the sky feels about here because of all the clouds. In Canada, like about here, the sky feels like it's up here. Like it feels so far away, and like I'm looking at the clouds and I'm like, that's so far away. Whereas at home you look at the clouds and they're like, the clouds are literally on top of me. So the sky's been a big difference. I also feel shopping has been a big difference. The clothes is cheaper, because I went to Urban Outfitters and got a pair of trousers for $10, which is like £5. The clothes are cheaper. I feel like the groceries are more expensive, but in terms of like produce, like fresh fruit and veg, they're of a higher quality. However, I've noticed that the meat is extortionate over here, and the quality isn't exactly, like, the quality's alright. Other differences: driving on the right hand side of the road. I did drive over here. It was quite scary, but I done it. I achieved it. That was quite funky. It was different. It's weird because whenever you're driving on the right hand side, whenever you're used to the left hand side, it doesn't make any sense, but you drift to the right, and whenever you're drifting to the right, you're usually drifting into like posts or sidewalks or something. I haven't hit anything, obviously. You drift so far to the right, whereas at home I feel like I'm able to measure my distances better. Whenever you're also driving over here, I feel like you have such a blind spot that you just can't see. For those who don't drive, this is probably straight over your head, but that's kind of another difference I've noticed. The buses are awful. Like, they're good in the sense of like they get you to and from where you need to go, as a bus should, but they don't take card. I know, sorry, cash is king, I understand. But say if you have $4 and your fare is $3.25 and you give them the $4, they aren't able to give you the money back, which I think is really weird, like your change, so that you can later get a further bus with the change that you have. Do you know what I mean? So it's really weird, and I don't know I don't know how you get cash. No, I do. You left out of an ATM. I know this because I had to do it, but it was stressful and painful. The difference is just like there's more lakes, there's more open land, the shops are bigger, Costco is crazy. The heat is a massive difference. I can't believe I didn't touch on the heat, but the heat is crazy because it could be raining outside and it could still be 26 degrees. So my phone actually died, so that was rather unfortunate. I also don't know if this is set up in the same place or not. Do you hear the cicadas? This is a difference as well. They literally, like, they're so loud. I'll be falling asleep till midnight. What is the first thing that I'll do when I get home from Canada? First thing I am doing whenever I get home from Canada is I am getting into Dublin at 5 o'clock, and I am going from Dublin to Portadown, and then I'm being picked up in Portadown to go up to Corrigan to work from home. But the first thing I'll be doing whenever I get home is getting in my car, because I miss my car, going for a big long drive somewhere. I haven't really got the rest of the plan out yet, but I'm going for a big long drive. I am meeting Sheree, my lover. I miss her so much. I'm also going to meet Pippa and potentially the boys as well. I don't know who I'm meeting, but Sheree's on my list as like #1 person to see because I miss that woman with my entire heart. I miss her. She makes me want to bawl my eyes out because she's not here. Yes, I will be coming home to see her, but firstly I need to work as soon as I go. And then the next day I'm gonna go down to the Belfast office and see everybody because I miss everybody, and it's been like a month. Well, it'll be like a month whenever the time I'm back. So I'll get to see everybody, I'll get to say hi again. And then the next day I am heading away to an O'Can concert, which you will also see because I plan on just recording it as well. So it'll just be good vibes. Okay, I've just read the next question and you can tell the Cameron wrote this question because I probably wouldn't write it. As awful as that sounds, I probably wouldn't write it. How are you finding being away from your partner for such a long time? Do you know what? I feel like it's a fair enough question because me and Cameron literally near enough live together at this point. I stayed at his house for like a year and then he has been up living with me for a while. Like near enough to the wake bar, like the football matches and things like that there. But like I'd say we practically live together, and then now for the past month I just haven't seen him because he's far away. So honestly, I knew that I wasn't going to be too emotional whenever I first got over. However, in that second week, whenever I was being really emotional, I wanted nothing more than like a hug. I just wanted a hug and know that someone was there. Cameron's really good at like kind of calming my emotions down. He's naturally quite a calm person, and this is not to make your nose bigger, Cameron. I know you're watching, or make your ego bigger, not your nose, because that'll mean you're lying. But you know what I mean. But I was just like craving a hug. I was like, I just need my person. I just need a hug. And then nightmare, I posted something on my like Snapchat stories. Yes, I know I'm 20 and I still use Snapchat. Shut up. But I posted something on there which was like a good night message to him. I posted it on my story instead of sending it to him. I woke up the next morning to 3 missed calls from Cameron and he was like, Zoe, you kind of posted that in your story. I don't think you meant to. And I was like, no, I did not mean to. So yeah, bottom line, I miss him. I'm finding it like okay now. I did find it really hard. I miss him and I do want to go back home to see him, but at the same time I also know that me being over here and him being at home, there is going to be like so much growth from that because it was just an added wee challenge that we just decided to throw in there. So but yeah, he's also been on like a boys trip before, so I thought like why not, I'll just go somewhere on my own. Well, not actually on my own, like my granddad and the family's here, so okay, so I have relocated for the last couple of questions because I seen my first mosquito and I was like, nope, I'm gone. So the next question that I have been asked, would I recommend going to Canada? Bwomp, bwomp, bwomp. Brenda's walking away, she's like, you better say yes.
Nope. Nope, that's...
Honestly though, I would say yes. Reason being, because I feel like everybody just needs to step away from home and just go see somewhere new. With that being said, I have been here before, twice. I was here for Christmas, which was a completely different experience than being here in summer because there is snow that you can't build snowmen out of unless you wet the snow. That's a whole different topic of conversation for another day. If you're going in summer, go for it, go. If you're going in winter, go for it, go. That's basically my idea of it. For anybody going to Canada for the first time, what is your top 3 tips? First one, bring sunscreen. If you're going in summer, because a couple of years back, like 7 years ago, I made the mistake of not wearing any sunscreen and your girl had 3rd-degree burns up her back and big blisters, so that was not a very fun experience. I had like blisters about this size on my back. We went to like this fella and he wasn't just a fella, I'm assuming he was a doctor. I would like to think he was a doctor, but he started like poking my back and poking the blisters. He was like, is that sore? I was like, yes. He was just poking the raw blister and I was like, of course it's sore. What do you mean? So yeah, bring sunscreen. Second tip would be to not really go outside in the dark unless you don't care about being alive. My third tip is bring cash because the gal did not bring cash with her to Canada. She didn't bring any dollars. So bring cash with you because certain things like transport and all mightn't take a card. I feel like that is just such a basic thing that everybody should know to do whenever they're traveling, but I just did not listen. And I only ever needed it for public transport. We also have a couple of additional questions which are kind of like quick fire ones which are kind of more fun, so I'm gonna give them a go too. Can I give you some Canadian slang words is the next one. Well, A is a big one. They say A after every sentence. And loony for dollars.
Loony and toonie.
And toonie, which is $2. Oh, crotch rockets.
Yes. I'll have to think about it. Toque is a winter hat.
Okay.
Toque.
A toque is a winter hat. Other than that, really, I don't think there's been any other slang words, except we can't say scone right. If I could take one thing home with me, what would I take home? If I could get my hands on a baby raccoon and legally bring it home, it would be coming home with me in my suitcase. Like, they're just so cute. Have you ever seen all the videos on TikTok and like the little trash pandas? That's slang. That's slang. They call them trash pandas, which I think is just the cutest name ever. Like, they're just a little trash panda, but they're so, so cute. And I just wish it was legal for me to bring one home and adopt one. What has been my funniest blonde moment? My entire existence? I don't know. I honestly don't know the answer to that one. Canadian food versus Northern Ireland food, which is better? To me, they are near enough the exact same. But then we're normally eating in as well, so there's not too much difference. In the past couple of times where we have it out, poutine is always on the menu. I went to the Irish pub and had a look, and they have this thing called a Celtic salad, which is like, what on earth is a Celtic salad? There's just a couple random things. I probably would say Northern Ireland food just because I do like a taste of home, and I would say pasta and pizza, but that's more Italian and I won't actually know that until I go to Italy. But that concludes all the questions, and I hope this was enjoyable. I hope this was a really fun video to watch. Let me know below if we kind of like the more sit down style of video. I'm surprised my phone didn't die again, but if you enjoyed it, make sure to hit the like button, and if you're new here, hit the subscribe button as well, because I don't just like to be a YouTuber. I just like to fulfill that wee childhood dream that I had, where I was like, I just want to record videos and like look back at them whenever I'm 50 and like have a bunch of people that would also enjoy watching the videos with me. So if you're new here and you want to see more content from me, please hit the subscribe button, and that would just really, really help. So it would. Tomorrow morning we are heading to Niagara Falls, and that is going to be a completely different video. So keep a wee eye out for it. And yes, thank you so much. Again, my name's Zoe, and thank you for watching the Canada Diaries. So you can also follow me on TikTok and Instagram as well. I am more active, I want to say, at the minute on Instagram, because TikTok scares me. I hope you all enjoyed. Thank you. I still don't really know how to end a video. Yeah, I hope everyone is having a fabulous day. And that is all from me. Au revoir.